It is night, the world is hushed and still. Even the moon hides her face behind a veil of clouds. Only the stars remain, winking down at a sleeping earth. You are nestled in your blankets, safe and warm, and yet something stirs within you. Some half-forgotten memories of another time, another place. Perhaps now Hades was a solemn place, silent and dark, for what joy or mirth can echo in the halls of death? The god was known for his tricks, for leading travelers astray with false promises and laughing as they tumbled into chasms. And yet something in the child's peaceful face stayed his hand. Perhaps it was the innocence of slumber, or maybe the god was weary of frightening mortals. At any rate, instead of leading the child astray, Hermes told him stories of the world beyond the woods, of stars and of the silver glow of the moon, of hidden paths and talking animals. And as the boy listened, his face lit up with wonder. When the sun began to rise, painting the sky in hues of pink and gold, the boy stirred and woke. He looked around, confused, and saw the god before him, who gave him a gentle smile and a small gift, sandals made of leaves that rustled like the wind. Then, with a wave of his magic staff, Hermes vanished, leaving the boy with the memory of his stories, and the sandals that would allow him to walk home without ever touching the ground. Yet one day, deep in the cavernous halls, far from the earshot of any mortal, a single flower dared to bloom. Who knows? Perhaps in another life, in another time, you, too, might have sat beside a fire, listening to the adventures of heroes and the laughter of gods. But for now, it is time to close this book of dreams. Let these stories linger in your thoughts like smoke, like incense, like the scent of faraway places. Let them carry you off to sleep, and may your dreams be filled with the magic of old. For the night is still young, and the world is full of wonders, if only we had eyes to see them. So sleep now, traveler, rest your head upon your pillow. Tomorrow is another day, but tonight, we are all children beneath the ancient skies, and the gods are watching over us, not with power, but with peace. A bloomer purest white, like a star fallen from the sky. Startled by this defiant beauty, Hades called to the flower and asked how it dared to grow in such a place. And the flower sighed, for it was no ordinary flower, but one born of sorrow. It told the god that long ago, Persephone, daughter of Demeter, had stumbled into this very hall and, overcome with the oppressive silence, had wept a single tear, which fell to the ground and sprouted this flower. Touched by this tale, Hades granted the flower immortality, allowing it to bloom forever in the silent halls of death, a ghostly bloom in the darkness. A time when the gods walked among mortals, not as mighty rulers, but as quiet guests. Do you feel it? That pulled towards the past? Well then let us begin. Our first tale takes us to a time when the great Zeus, the king of thunder, was troubled, not by the deeds of men, for they were few and far between, nor by the schemes of his fellow gods, for they were too familiar to catch him unaware. No, his heart was heavy with a strange new feeling, one he had not felt since the dawn of time. Drought. The crops were failing, the rivers ran dry, and even the sea had shrunk from the sun-baked earth. One day, high atop his throne of clouds, he heard a sound, not of thunder or lightning, but a tiny voice that nonetheless reached him clearly. It was a girl no older than 10 summers, and she prayed not for herself, for she knew that her own needs would be met, but for her goats, who wandered the dry hills, who were slowly withering away beneath the merciless sun. She prayed for rain, not a raging storm, but a gentle shower, just enough to slake the thirst of her poor animals. Zeus, touched by her simple piety, did not unleash a clap of thunder, though he could have moved the mountains to bring forth a torrent of rain. No, he sent a soft drizzle, a veil of mist that fell upon the parched earth and filled the girl's bucket. Then, as quickly as it began, it ended. The sun broke through the clouds once more, and when the girl looked up in wonder, there was no sign of the god, only the soft patter of raindrops and the bleating of happy goats. For our next tale, let us journey to the realm of Hades, god of the underworld. And for our final story, let us follow the mischievous god Hermes, who one day sat beside a sleeping child in the woods. And so the night deepens, the hours drift by, and the whispers of old tales fill your ears.